most common issues we have when we have a kind of chronic toxic hypervigilance, a very activated, complex trauma kind of life from our childhoods, is this tendency to overanalyze and overthink everything. And this is just classic in sort of generalized anxiety disorders and anxiety in general. But for many of us who spent our childhoods in that fight or flight, we don't know how to not overanalyze and overthink and over make meaning about everything. So here are some things you can do. Really quickly, if you're new here, I'm a licensed psychologist, and this channel is all about trauma, attachment, and relationships, and all the forms that those things might occur in, from childhood to narcissistic relationships and things like that. So let's talk about what you can do, some strategies if this is you. Number one is you want to start to be a detective and start to figure out what are the triggers, what makes me more likely to go into that overanalyzing dynamic. Is it when I feel judged? Is it when I feel rejected? Is it when I feel unsafe or uncertain? Which is probably all of those things. But start to just, like spend a week maybe just paying attention at first, or several days. Like, where did I feel that trigger inside? And when we say trigger, we're really talking about an emotional movement, something happening inside. So I feel suddenly anxious or stressed or sad or worried, whatever it is. So start to notice and make notes of like, oh, it happened when my boss sent me an email and said, can you come to my office for a meeting? And the tone was a little bit drier than usual. Oh, it happened when I went to call one of my friends and they said, you know what, I'm really busy right now. Can I talk to you tomorrow? And my first thought was, oh, great, now I've done something wrong. You don't want to talk to me. My first thought wasn't, oh, my friend is busy and they just need a break today. Hold please, I have a Coco situation I have to fix. Hey Coco, come here. Honey, I love you, but that doesn't work for, come say hi to your friends. Here's the Coco situation I had to fix. I have some paper on the floor she was stepping on. Okay, so basically we're talking about recognizing the triggers, like I was saying. So you just start to take everything, you don't really take it at what it is, you start to analyze it. So recognizing your triggers is the first step, and oftentimes it helps to say it out loud. So let's say in the situation where I said, I sent my friend a text and they said, oh, sorry, Coco is losing her mind right now. I'm busy right now. Could I say out loud, okay, I've decided that this means that my friend doesn't care about me and they're mad at me. Why are they mad at me? Well, they have no reason to be mad at me. Like, you just start to say it out loud to yourself. Oftentimes hearing yourself say it out loud as opposed to those thoughts in our head, it's like, wait a minute, that might be true, but maybe not. So practice literally saying it out loud and or writing it down, texting it out, putting it in your phone, writing it on a piece of paper. But I really would recommend saying it out loud, because sometimes when you say it out loud, you hear yourself and you're like, okay, that might be true, but it might be a little extreme. The next thing is to work on reframing. So which is basically saying like, okay, I've decided that it means this, but maybe it means that, or what else could it mean? Or just to find a way to say, this is actually more about my anxiety today and my insecurities. I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow. That's a different technique. But basically you find ways to reframe what else could it be, what else is going on, what are the other factors. Like, you just find other ways to set up the story you're telling yourself, because that is the key. You are telling yourself a story that whatever this thing is wrong or bad about you or relates to you and needs to be analyzed and broken down, as opposed to just saying, okay, maybe they're busy today and I'll wait till tomorrow to make an assessment. Maybe that's all you do is say, you know what, this feels a little weird. Maybe something did happen, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow. If they do it to me again, then maybe I'll let myself explore that. You can also give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to just freak out and worry about something. You can set a timer and just let yourself fully be anxious for a certain amount of time, but then practice stopping, pausing, breathing, some kind of like, oh, I'll return back to this. I like to use the container exercise, which is an idea where you imagine a container of some sort and you imagine putting all the energy, the worries, the thoughts, the things in that container. And then you say, I'm going to close the lid and come back to it. It's a little bit more than that. That's basically the exercise. And I should make a video about this. I used to have one. I think it got marked for some kind of old music in terms of the copyright. So anyway, but the bottom line is you can also Google the container exercise. So you do something like that where you think about, how can I put this away for now? Then you want to move your body oftentimes. Go for a walk, go for a run, go to the gym, you know, walk around the block, whatever it is. Sometimes moving your body and getting your mind on something else, listening to music or a podcast, can get you out of that rut of overanalyzing that you're in. The next thing is really going to self-compassion, inner child, reparenting work, where you say, it's okay that you feel worried about this, but this is about your childhood and you don't have to always think everything is your fault. I understand why you do. You know, you can send yourself some love. You can say, why don't you go do something good for yourself? Like go make something in the kitchen or go take a nap, whatever. You find a way to like lovingly be the parent. If you imagine a loving, safe, grounded parent, like what would they say to you? They'd be like, oh, honey, I really don't think this is probably your fault, right? Or whatever. Let's just, I have a cat hair here. Let's just take some time and let's go, you know, let's watch a movie or whatever. So you just give yourself those messages. I always talk about selfcompassion.org is a great place to look at some skills and techniques from Kristin Neff, Dr. Kristin Neff. And then the next thing is you rinse and repeat. So you practice doing these things. So it's not going to be like one time you did this and it worked perfectly. A lot of this is you making the internalized shift in your mind about what else I can do, and then doing things like, you know, saying the things out loud, giving yourself space and time, breathing, moving your body, doing the reparenting work. All of that is an ongoing exercise and practice because you spent most of your life or your relationship, maybe it was a 5-year wounding relationship and you had a, you know, your parents weren't like this, but because of your partner, you just walk on eggshells and you over make meaning. And so it's not going to disappear in 1 or 2 videos or exercises or even a few therapy sessions. It's going to take some time. And a lot of it is committing to the practice. So that's it for today. Please consider joining me here if you'd like more content. I'm going to be posting hopefully every day here on YouTube. Have a beautiful day. Please stay safe and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.